live meeting. Well, I guess we were live in closed session, but we're now back in the public's approval. At this time, I would believe a motion would be in order to approve the April claims to be paid in May of $378,958.87.
We back up one.
What do you want to back up to?
Move the table to sell the property until
Oh,
the
okay.
investigation.
Okay, thank you. Point of order is well put. Motion made to table the sale of property until further investigation. That motion, are you making that motion, David?
Yes, I'll second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay, now we can go to claims. Dan, for point of order, you will. April claims, motion is in order, $378,958.87. We got a bunch of claims here we're going to sign off on. Motion is in order. Second? All those in favor?
Aye.
Is there any other business to come before the committee at this time?
I'd like to make a few different statements on some related issues. During the insurance meeting, I don't know if we don't have, unless you want me to carry this over to the regular board meeting.
Probably didn't make any friends in that one, do it?
I'm going to cover that in the regular. Would you rather cover the regular meeting or?
Well, that's fine, as long as we talk about that at that time.
We'll cover it under other.
Okay, UCCI is having a golf outing July 22nd to 23rd, and it's at Eagle Ridge for board members and, officers of the county, so. And so if anybody's interested, I have applications here for that.
UCCI, refresh our memory, Jeff.
Council.
I knew that, I just wanted to see if you knew.
If you had to give me a little while to spit it out.
He was gonna get it.
I knew he would. He never disappoints.
And also, we need to have a farmland assessment committee made up of 5 people from the county, and they have to meet by June 1st in order to okay the state or farmland assessment rate. If anybody has any ideals of somebody who'd like to serve on this committee, let me know. Since we don't have an acting supervisor assessment, I'll be forming this committee.
How about the zoning committee?
I suppose we could
With
use,
you on there.
yeah, we could do that. We could, how many, let's see.
We've got 3.
Well, there's Dick Nash.
We've got 3, the zoning committee or zoning board you're talking about?
Zoning board.
The board.
Yeah.
The zoning board, I think.
It's been made up of independent people in the past, this committee has. And I think their only function is just to okay the state multiplier for farm ground.
What if they say no?
Then they have to develop their own multiplier. They either accept the states or they develop their own.
What is, you got any idea what it is, Jeff?
What?
The multiplier from the state?
No, off the top of my head, Fred. I'd have to ask the ladies down at the assessment office.
The multiplier that was added by the state is for 2012 of this year and.
No, for the new one.
Am I stating this correct, Vicki?
Pardon?
Is what I've said been correct?
I mean, the state multiplier, if you're talking about that got added on, it doesn't affect farmland.
Isn't that what this farmland assessment value though, that this committee okays?
Yes,
Okay,
yes. They're correct.
okay.
But I don't know about the multiplier, I mean, that is put on by the state, for the farm ground.
Okay. But we're okay, this committee okays the states or devises their own, right?
So,
Sorry, I was thinking.
So is there any conflict to making the board a committee?
I think it's gotta be separate from the board. I think the zoning board of appeals could probably do it, because they're separate.
That's what I'm talking
Okay,
about.
Phil
the
think
zoning
has
board.
to be, non-board members.
Yeah, it has to be non-board
Board
members.
review.
What's that?
It has to be non-board members. We can't.
No, I'm talking about the Dick Nash and his
That
group.
zoning board of
Is there a
appeals-
conflict with making the
Oh.
zoning board
Okay.
a committee? I don't know. Is there?
If they don't control each other, there shouldn't be a conflict. The duties are separate, one doesn't rule the other.
to the zoning committee and board.
If there's only three on there, Nash and Sure and who was the other?
There's more than three.
Was there?
There's
Was it
five,
five?
I think.
But they've got, what, 2 weeks or 3 weeks to meet?
Yeah, they just have to have a meeting and approve the state's,
Well, even if that's what we want, we're gonna have to check with them to see if that's acceptable to them, too.
Yeah.
They may not wanna take this on.
or we can just find 5 farmers willing, or people in the county willing to come in and serve on this and look at it, okay?
Well, farmers are pretty busy right now.
Yeah.
Not a good time to put something else on their plate.
Well, Jeff, why don't you work with Greg and work out the details and then get done what you have to get done. If we can do it through the zoning board of appeal, I would do it that way. Kill two birds with one stone.
We might have to add an extra person to it or something to get the appropriate number up. Okay, other than that, I had nothing.
Okay, we now have public comment. Any public comment? Yes, sure.
My name is Chris Brewer, Rick and Animal Control. I just wanna kind of, maybe, I think it might be you that I have to ask. Did you mention about the highway department about paying off a loan
Yes,
at the highway department
Yeah.
that had a high interest?
yeah.
Okay, now budgetarily, is that highway department gonna pay that back to the general fund, or how's that gonna go?
Is she talking about the excavator?
What you're talking about,
No.
you're talking about a loan that the highway department made. It was there were a couple of loans. Oh, there was one loan that the highway department made of $278,000. And part of those proceeds, we paid those out of those proceeds. We paid that.
Cause it had a high interest.
Yeah, anything that
Right,
had interest
right.
rates,
No,
sure.
no, I get that. I was just wondering, since they're kind of self-sufficient, if they pay that back to the general fund, or if that's just something you guys worked out amongst
I
each
think
other.
the county itself probably made the loan. The county board probably made the loan, I would think.
What was
I
it for?
remember when they okayed
Sure,
it.
that's
The
the
county board okayed the.
Or the road,
Yeah.
No,
Yeah. Yeah, the board okayed it, yeah, but the board county board has to okay a loan for it to happen.
Right, so
yeah,
that
cause
was,
they got, what was it, 250,000 for a new maintainer or whatever, and then this loan has been paid off, is that correct, Jeff?
Yes, it is.
Okay, that's what I was
so
asking.
is your
for.
question, should they
Separate ones.
reimburse the county
This is
for
separate.
donated funds that they received from the state on it? Is that your question?
Well, I'm trying to figure out what it was, if the county paid off their loan,
Yes, we did.
okay, and I just wanted to know, were they gonna pay that back, or is that just something that you
I
guys
don't,
worked out?
I don't believe they are.
Is that out of the airport, funds?
Yeah.
That's what it is.
250,000 was out of the airport fund.
That's right.
That's what I'm
The
talking about.
278 was out of the nursing home sale receipts.
Correct.
Yep.
So, yeah,
And I believe this is an operating note they had in the past for payroll and things like that. Day labor and that in the past.
But you were just talking about budgetary and trying to keep the general fund up, and I just wasn't
Right.
sure if that's something that you would,
We have not met with the non-general fund people yet. We're gonna meet with them as well. And that would be you, health department, highway.
right. No, it's just a thought that I had.
No, I think it's a very good question, it's a fair question. But I think we made the loan and we're cleaning up as much interest type debt that we had out there with those proceeds to, skinny down some of those costs that we had. That money was costing us.
Yeah, and I think that must be where I'm at, because I
Okay.
thought that they were more self-sufficient.
I see. Your point is they have the case where they can go out and buy those pieces of
No,
equipment.
they couldn't, it's not, yeah.
Am
We'll
I
talk
missing
about this
something
later,
here?
yeah.
Maybe I'm missing something.
Yeah.
Catch
Yeah.
me up later,
Yeah.
okay. Any other public comment? Yes, sir.
Yes, I do. One thing you mentioned about possibly breaking even with the county. What would it actually cost to break even this year, money-wise?
I don't think
Well,
we,
you talked about balancing the budget, so you
Oh,
should
I-
know what it would take to balance the
well,
budget this year.
well, if we can't amend the budget there's no way to balance the budget.
I'm talking, if it's amended, I wanna know what it would actually cost to put us, the county, right at
My estimates have
zero.
been about $1 million.
$1 million, okay? Where's all this cost going?
Well, you know, and I think.
I mean, I hear all the facts and figures. Now, you talked about, you went to 3 different bank presidents tonight, and you talked about going to them, and they wanna know if it's a bond. Trust me, I've been around a lot in my life. I'm 53 years old. I've dealt with bankers. I've had financing on $1 million projects when I had my company, okay? When a banker wants to know about a bond, trust me, they're only wanting to know one thing, what's in it for them. Plain and
Well,
simple. Figures
sure.
lie and liars figure. And that's the way it is, folks. Let's face it, I'm not accusing any board member of lying. I'm not accusing anything. But I tell you what, the bankers are only interested in one thing, how much money they can make. Now, if they're a county, or in this county, as a bank, and it's county taxpayers, they shouldn't be doing it as a profit, period. Nobody should be doing anything at a profit for this county. Because if you're a county taxpayer, you should do it, and do it for nothing. So, we have First Community Bank, which is down the other end of town. You've got State Bank of Orion, and you've got all these places. But if they're county taxpayers, and they're in the county, they should be doing it for nothing. Plain and simple. They shouldn't collect any interest, they shouldn't collect any fees, they shouldn't do anything, because they are part of this county.
I don't disagree with that novel concept, but
It's not a novel concept.
I wish it was like that way in Washington.
If we,
I wish it was that way in Springfield, and I wish it was that way in.
well, I
in
tell you
Amiga.
what, I think there's a few housewives in this place. You wanna balance the budget in this state, then you stick the average housewife up there in Springfield, and she can balance the budget, because that's what they do.
I agree,
And
I've said for
I-
years, if Congress was all women, we'd probably be doing a whole lot better.
Yeah, well, and I'm just saying,
I appreciate your comment, but
well-
to answer it, it's about $1 million.
okay, well, I'll
We
tell
have
you
to-
what. You wanna, I mean, you just come right out and tell them. You're a taxpayer in this county, you should be doing it for nothing, because it's to benefit the county and the people in this
Ron, do you wanna
county.
mow all the yards in the county for nothing?
You know what?
All the town?
I'll tell you what, Jeff. Stand up here. I blew my right knee out again, so I gotta have another knee surgery. I'll tell you what. I've got in this box all the illegalities that happened to me, but you know what? You help me get my equipment back, and I've got the proof. I'll mow the county's yards. Because you know what? I did a lot of work for the city of Ledo. In fact, when I had my company and I had all my equipment, I did all of the Ledo city's work. And you know what? If it dealt with a park, George, you know me, I did work in your property. If it dealt with a park, dealt with a fundraiser, and it dealt with the American Legion over there, when I hydro-seeded that whole yard, I had grass growing in 3 days. But I tell you what, you helped me get it back. I did it at a third of a price of everybody else. And I did the parks, every park I did,
You
including the
didn't,
park
you
right.
didn't do it for free then.
Not that one, but every park I did, the one across the street, city, the Central Park, I did the cemetery park, I did their volleyball court,
We
and
need to move on.
I did the whole bike trail. I
Ted,
did it for nothing. You help me get my equipment back, and I'll do the mowing.
Appreciate your comments.
I will. I got 7 minutes according to Robert's Rule of Order.
5 minutes,
Five.
according to our rules.
Robert's Rules of Order say 7 minutes,
Our,
Phyllis.
It's
our
fine.
rules is stated in the
5 minutes.
county,
I appreciate your
Sorry.
comments.
resolution was 5 minutes.
I mean that, Jeff. I will. I'll mow for the county. You help me get my stuff back, and I'll do it.
Thank you. Any other public comments? We appreciate hearing from the public.